Okay, dear students, welcome back to our mathematics class. Today we are going to talk about one of the important branch of the mathematics, which is called trigonometry. The trigonometry has many applications in our daily life. And we can say the trigonometric topics and trigonometric figures in the astronomies and chemistries and physics and so on. Okay, dear students, the trigonometry or the word of trigonometry that it come from, the word of trigonometry is derived from two Greek words, which is trigon and metron. Tri means, this is also, we say that is the number 3. And also trigon and metron, the word trigon means a triangle. And also the metron means, it means measurement of the trigonometry or a triangle. And also in all, generally if we say the trigonometry is also can be the science of measuring triangles. And also we can see the trigonometry is one of the fun topics in mathematics which studies the relations between sides and the angles of a trigonometry. Okay, dear students, before starting or before comprehend what is the trigonometry, at that time there are some concepts which we must know them step by step because they are very important, and every topics which we study in the trigonometry is based on these topics. Okay, dear students, first of all, we must know what is angles in trigonometry. As we studied in the geometry, the angle is formed by two rays and which has a common point, which is called what? Vertex. And also I wrote here the definition of that. Please, you can note this one and you can memorize this one also. What is the definition of angle and what is the rule which we study the angles in the trigonometry? Because of that, the trigonometry, the angles in the trigonometry is one of the important part in the trigonometry, because every time when we define the ratios and when we define the functions of the trigonometric functions, and every time we will have the angles, and also we define the functions in the trigonometry according to the given angles. Okay. An angle is the union of two rays, which we have studied in the geometry also, which have a common endpoint. What is the common endpoint? The common endpoint is called the vertex. Generally or usually, we denote we show the vertex with the O. Okay, dear students, the side O is called what? One of the side of the what? An angle. An angle is the distances between two sides which has the common vertex, that is called what? An angle. It has two sides, like side OA and the side OB. Here, the theta is the angle which is formed by intersecting of two rays in one point, that is called vertex. Okay, this is very easy. Also, we must know what is the directed angles. Because of what we study the directed angle or the directed angle, because we will have sometimes positive angle and sometimes we will have negative angles. For this reason, it is necessary to know what is the directed angles. Okay, dear students, if we say that one of the two rays of an angle is initial side, what is the initial side? We must say during the lesson, and the other is the terminal side of the angle, then the corresponding angle is called what? Directed angles. What does it mean? We said this is an angle, it has two sides. To having the directed angles, we must have two sides, which we must name them. Well, one is what? We said one must be the initial side and the other must be terminal side. If we name the sides of the angle, which is one is initial side and the other is terminal side, and that is called a directed angle in the trigonometry. Okay, dear students, as you see in the shapes in the figure which I draw that, look, this is one side which I wrote in the red color. That is what? Initial side. What is the initial side? From this side, that rotates around the one point, which is called vertex. And the second side, which is which is rotating around one point, that is called what? Terminal side. That is the second side in the angle. And also, as you see in this angle, O, which is located on the x-axis, this is what? Initial side, and it is rotating around the vertex like O, and the second side will be the terminal side. Every angle which has as an initial side, and if we see, or if we name that it has a terminal side, and the time that angle is called what? Directed or the directed angles. Okay, dear students, sometimes we say we have two signs in an angle, and sometimes it will be positive, and sometimes that will be negative. How we can determine with the angle has the positive sign and the angle has the negative signs. If dear student, if the angle or the terminal side rotates to the clockwise, on the time that angle is equal, has the negative sign. If the angle turns, or if the angle returns around the one point to the anti-clockwise or counterclockwise, on that time the angle will have what? Positive signs, like this one. This is the point and this is the initial side. If I rotate to the counter, to the clockwise, on the time I will have the negative angle here. If I rotate around the one point through the what? Counterclockwise or anti-clockwise, on the time the sign of that angle will be positive. This was the directed angles because it is directed by one side according to the initial side. Okay, dear students, one of the important topic which we must know in the trigonometry is called unit circle. Every time we will define the trigonometric ratios according to the unit circle, and also we will define the identities of the trigonometric according to the unit circle. At that time, it is necessary to know, or it is necessary to mention in this video. Okay, dear students, what is the unit circle? The circle, we have defined it in the geometry, that you know what is the circle and you can define that. If a circle which is radius is equal with 1 unit, that is called what? Unit circle. Let's define this one. In the coordinate plane, a circle which has its center at the origin. This is very important point. And the radius is 1 unit, that is called what? Unit circle. First of all, we studied the standard equation in the geometry, which has x minus a to square plus y minus b is equal with r square. This was the standard equation of a circle. Here, how we can change this standard equation into the equation of a unit circle on the time that is necessary, which we have said, because the center is at the origin. When the center is at the origin, on that time E is equal with B is equal with C. The center will be located on the origin. That is equal with 0, 0. Okay, and the radius of every circle which is equal with number 1, that is called what? Unit circle. And on the time we will have, according to the Pythagorean theorems which we have studied in the geometry, on that time I can write this is a triangle, this is a triangle, this is a right triangle according to the, suppose this is the radius of that, and this is the y-axis, and this is the x-axis. This is a right triangle. According to the Pythagorean theorems, we can write the addition of squares of two sides is equal with the square of what? Radius of that, or the radius or the hypotenuse of that right triangle. Here, x squared plus y squared is equal with, the radius is equal with number 1. On the time, this is what? This is the equation of a unit circle. Okay, dear students, In the coordinate plane or in the XY plane, we have 4 quadrants. This is very necessary, and we will have some practical examples to solving that. It helps us to recognize the point is located in which quadrants. Okay, dear students, here, suppose this is a point which is X and Y. Okay, this is the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, this is the third, and this is the fourth quadrants. Here, in the first quadrant, the sign of X and Y is equal both positive, and the third and the second quadrant, the sign of X is negative, and the sign of Y is what? Positive, and the third, both X and Y is also has negative signs. In the fourth quadrant, the sign of Y is negative and the sign of X is positive. Okay, dear students, let me check some examples according to the sign of this and also according to the standard equation of an unit circle. We must show, or we want to show some 3 or 4 points which it is located on the unit circle or not. By using the formula which we have x squared plus y squared is equal with number 1. According to this formula, we will solve, or we will operate on the given points, which are in every point every point is shown by 2 coordinates, by 2 components in the xy plane. On the time, the first component is called x, and the second is called what? Y. And this is x and this is also y. Here, the square root of x plus square root of y must be equal with the number 1, which the given point is located on the unit circle. Let me check. X squared plus y squared is equal with number 1. On the time, x is equal 1 over 2 squared plus 3 over 2 square is equal with 1 over 2 square is equal with 1 over 4 plus 3 over 2 square will equal with 9 over 4. When I simplify this 1 plus 9 will be 10 over 4. This is not equal with the number 1. For this reason, we reject the given point is not located on the unit circle. Let's check the second one. And this is the x and this is the y component here. According to the formula which we have, the unit circle's formula, x squared is plus y squared is equal with number 1. Here, 1 over 2 squared plus square root of 3 over 2 squared is equal with, when I simplify this one, 1 over 2 squared is equal with 1 over 4 plus square root of 3 over 2 squared will be 3 over number 4. When I simplify this one, 1 plus 3 is equal with 4 over 4 is equal with what? Number 1. This is true. The given point, which is 1 over 2, comma 3 square root of 3 over 2 is true for the unit circle, which is located on the what? On one point of the unit circle like P is located on the unit circle, which is xy. And the third one, negative 1 over 2 is square plus 1 square is equal with negative 1 over 2 square is equal with 1 over 4 plus 1 is equal, when I simplify 1 plus 4 will be 5 over 4. And also this is not located on the unit circle according to the equation of the unit circle. Okay, dear students, let's check some other example, like find the value of k when the point A is square root of 3 over 4 over 2 comma k is on the unit circle in the fourth quadrant. Please be careful. The equation says as this point is what located on the fourth quadrant. For this, in this case, you must find the value of k. Here, this is value of x. This is value of y. According to the equation, we will have x squared plus y squared is equal with number 1. Here, square root of 3 to the over 2 square plus k square is equal with what? Number 1, which we have the equation here. And also, when I simplify this one, or when I operate the operation which is located among the two consonant and the variables, the square root of 3 over 2 will be, to the power of number 2, will be 3 over 4 plus k square is equal with number 1. Here, k square is equal with 1 minus 3 over 4. Here, if I simplify this one, k square is equal with 4. 4 minus 3 is equal with 1 over number 4. Here, k square is equal with 1 over 4. When I take the square root from both sides, understand that the value of k will be found. When I take the square root from both sides, k will have two values here, positive and negative 1 over 2. Here, according to the question, the right or the true value of k according to the example will be k is equal with 1 over 2 and k is equal with negative 1 over 2. In the fourth quadrant, the k is the y component. The y component is equal with the negative in the fourth quadrant. On that time, the negative k is equal with negative 1 over 2 is true according to the question. Okay, dear students, it was the first lesson in the trigonometry. If you have any question, if you have any best suggestions, we are waiting to your best suggestions on our YouTube channel, Afghan-Turk Maarif Schools. And have a good day, have a good lessons. Thank you.